a study by Dunning and Ellinger titled The Confidence Gap, The Atlantic, Katty Kay and Claire Shipman share that men overestimate their abilities and women underestimate their abilities. Their performances do not differ in quality. This difference leads most women to avoid applying for jobs unless they believe they meet over 90% of the qualifications, whereas men typically apply if they meet just 60% of the qualifications. Linda Babcock, a professor of economics at Carnegie Mellon University and the author of Women Don't Ask, studied students in business school. Her research found that men initiate salary negotiations 4 times as often as women, and when women do negotiate, they ask for 30% less money than men do. In another study, University of Virginia professor Mirella Hernandez found that though white and black candidates were equally likely to try to negotiate their salaries, the biased evaluators' expectation that black candidates would and should settle for less led them to penalize black candidates for negotiating by granting fewer salary concessions. In fact, each time a black candidate was perceived to have made an offer or counteroffer, they were given about $300 less in starting salary on average. You can see how differences in gender and even perceived biases can lead to inequality and the importance of lifting up, the third action in the Allies framework. The dictionary defines the verb of the word lift as raise to a higher position or level, to pick up and move to a different position. I like this definition of lifting because it captures the goal of what I'm talking about, and it illustrates the 2 ways an ally can lift up. You want to raise that person out of feeling insecure or discouraged, and you want to move them to a position of confidence so they can apply for that job or negotiate an equitable salary because they know they are worth it. A great example of this lifting up is Dawn Marie Elder's story. Dawn is the general manager and COO at Scipio, and Michael Goryaran has been her ally for years. He has watched her career and believed in her abilities and encouraged her along the way. Both Dawn Marie and Michael have impressive resumes leading innovative organizations. But what I want to talk about today is a particular situation where Dawn Marie's career took a left-hand turn. She'd been sitting on top, crushing her goals, and was recognized for her contributions. And then a month later, she was part of a reduction plan that left her doubting herself. Dawn Marie described how she felt as an abyss. She was stuck, feeling sorry for herself, feeling slighted, and she wanted to run and hide. When she called Michael, she was at a crossroads, embarrassed by her situation and having a hard time moving on. She had several options, but her confidence was so hit, she really was afraid, and she was even considering leaving the business. But Michael lifted her up by doing 3 things. First, he reminded her of what was true about her talents and successes. Then, he worked with her to create a list of pros and cons of the different options. Together, they came up with a framework for making the right decision. And finally, 3, Michael cast a vision for what Dawn Marie could do if she stayed in business. Michael's investment is a great picture of how an ally raises another's self-confidence through encouragement, pointing out talents, strengths, and accomplishments, and even giving a vision of the impact they can have. The lifting up of an ally is vital to success because, as Katty Kay and Claire Shipman also share, having talent isn't merely about being competent. Confidence is a part of that talent. You have to have it to excel. A person who thinks they can is more likely to do amazing things because of an ally's confidence and lifting up. Lifting up is an important skill for allies, but it is equally important for leaders. As a leader, it is vital that you learn to focus on the positive, encourage instead of criticize, and recognize each person's contribution so you can build the confidence of those who are following you.